morning. I'm just gonna sit here and chit chat like I do when I'm making a video. So strange. My hair is all wispy and wiry, but that's okay. Um, I was going to use my Google device to do the live stream. Hi, Connie. What's up, boo? Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you're here. I was just starting to say, I'm just not used to, I'm just excited. Oh my gosh. I was starting to say, I went yesterday or Monday when I did my live stream. I used a different device, and it's the Google 2 Pixel 2XL. Google Pixel 2XL. And I just went on and I clicked the little button, and this device is now obsolete. So YouTube would not let me live stream from it. And I was just tickled to death because I actually received a live stream. I got to do a live stream, my very first real, live stream Monday. And it was Monday morning, and I'm sitting there and I'm going on, and basically it's just me for about an hour just talking about stuff. And then somebody popped in, and it was a little 13-year-old girl from Russia. And then she was like, well, I can't believe you've been on here this long. And it's super late. It was like 10 o'clock here, so it was like a little past 1 in the morning there. And she was really tired. And then there was another person that popped up, and her name was Angela, also from Russia. And so we sat there and talked for a little bit, and it was really cool. And so I was like, well, maybe if I gave some, a heads up of when I would be coming on here, then perhaps they, they would know, and they'd be like, hey, stop by and say, hi, Billy Joe, what's up? And look, there you are. I'm so excited. Anyway, the Google phone is obsolete. I loved this phone. My middle daughter gave me this phone because she updated her phone. This was her phone, and it was awesome. And then it got cracked, and then it got replaced. And after I spent the money to get it fixed and replaced and everything like that, I get a notice saying that the Google Pixel 2 XL will no longer be receiving updates. So I was like, wah, wah. So I took my Samsung S10, which is what I'm on right now, and I was like, well, let me just see. And I hit the button, and it's letting me live stream. So I'm so sorry, Google. Moment of silence. How are you doing today, Connie? Are you feeling well? Oh, I'm a bit breathy still. Did you see the video about the CDC calling me? That's excellent. Blessed Mabon, of course, yes. Harvest, harvest. Yeah, anytime there's a fall harvest, it just, maybe they say it's September. Don't matter. That's the harvest season. By gosh. Isn't that right? Blessed be. So, I got a phone call yesterday. So I don't know if you've seen the video. I'll just a recap. Got a phone call yesterday because a little more than 6 months ago, I went and got my J&J shot. And as soon as I was put in the system, I believe they were like, do you want to take part in this study? Would you like to answer questions? And I was like, sure, absolutely, why not? Because I mean, if I can help others, that's great. That's great. In my one little spot in the world, mainly in my house, if I can help others, that's fantastic. So, the second day we had the shots, a little more than 6 months ago, there for about a week, I was answering questions. They would send me a little questionnaire in my email, and then I would fill it out and send it away. And I never heard anything from it. Well, they sent me a 6-month questionnaire 2 days ago, and I filled it out. And they asked, have I been experiencing any kind of symptoms of anything going on? And I'm trying to be as honest as I can with these people, because it's the Centers of Disease Control Prevention, the CDC. And I was like, yeah, well, I've been having some heart issues. And I didn't think anything about it. Just answered the little questionnaire, because they didn't really give you a whole bunch of space to elaborate about things. And I kind of had a feeling when I was filling the questionnaire out that they would be contacting me. I don't know. Why would the CDC call me? I'm just a schmook in the world, I'm just one little person. Well, yesterday I got a call from the CDC. And they wanted me to elaborate. They had some questions about my answers, and they wanted to, get more information. So from that, she asked me more questions, and of course, always the first questions are, have you been to the hospital? Have you been sick? Have you been around anyone that you know of that may or may not have COVID? And I'm like, well, I told the lady, I was like, well, to be honest with you, it's not like those of us who have COVID have badges on us that say I've had COVID, so you're out walking around in the world, and some people have had COVID and somehow I have no idea whom I'm around. I try when I leave the house to wear a mask. But it's kind of redundant when I'm with my husband and we leave the house. I mean, he's a diabetic and has all these issues going on, but he won't wear a mask. And so there I am wearing a mask. But even, he's my spouse. If he's not wearing a mask, what good is it? Because he's breathing in whatever, and then as soon as we get in the vehicle, get back home, my mask comes off, and then I'm just as exposed because he's a man. So no, ma'am, I do not know if I have been exposed to anybody who has had or have not had COVID. I don't know. And she was like, okay. She said, it says here that you have been experiencing heart issues. And I'm like, yes, I've been experiencing shallow breathing. It's hard to breathe, some chest pain sometimes, rapid heartbeat, fluttering, and I went down the whole entire list. And she was like, oh, okay. So then she asked me information, about if I thought that the shot that I received, because we did the J&J, if that had anything to do with the issues that I'm experiencing right now. Well, I went and had my happy planner in my hand, because I love my happy planners. And so I'm going back through from when we get the shot. I mean, anytime I deal with any kind of medication or any kind of treatment or any kind of anything, changing a diet, changing exercise routine, whatever, I keep a note on how these things make me feel, how they affect me. That is so I know me, so I can possibly help a provider, a healthcare provider, know me Like, I know me. So I'm flipping down through my book, and strangely enough, I hadn't experienced the palpitations, the shortness of breath, the fatigue, the rapid heartbeat, all of that stuff prior to getting the shots. I say shots because it was the 2-in-1. The one and done, It's because everybody else, the Pfizer and Moderna, was doing the 2 shots. Well, we did the J&J because that's what was in our area. We're just trying to be good people. Let's go get the shot. So we go get the shot. And when the representative for the CDC heard that I had not been experiencing any effects prior to getting the shot, she became concerned. And she asked me some more questions. And she said, okay, well, I'm going to take this information and I will pass it along and we will go from here. I'm like, okay, great. Go do what you got to do, boo. I thanked her, gave her, bless you, have a blessed day, be well. And I hung up the phone. Then I called, I got to thinking, well, was that booster shot I got 6 months ago the reason that I'm feeling the way I'm feeling right now? So I called my healthcare provider, and actually I sent her a text message because the medical group I work with, they have a portal, and it's amazing because you can actually just go into the portal and send a message to your provider, and by golly, they answer me back. So I'm sitting there and I'm telling her, what happened with the CDC and about me keeping track of things and how I hadn't experienced any of these symptoms prior to receiving the shot. And my healthcare provider says, well, I would suggest you contact your cardiac doctor. I'm like, okay, thank you. So I get off the phone or, put the messaging down, and then I call my cardiac doctor because I've tried to reach out to him once before in the same porthole, but I guess because he's a cardiologist, he's way busy and he doesn't have time to answer messages. So I just called and I waited, and somebody answered the phone, and they said, well, what's your birthday? And I told them, and they was like, well, what do you need? And I'm like, wow. I'm like, I just need to speak to Dr. Folk or his nurse or something. And she's like, what was that birth date again? So she types in the birthday, and she was like, okay, and what is this about? I said, well, do you have a minute? She says, well, can you just give me something short so I can just kind of let the nurse know, give her an idea? I said, well, the CDC contacted me, and I was just wondering if I'm eligible to go and get the booster shot because I'm having issues with my heart, and apparently the CDC are concerned that the injection that I took may be the culprit. Because when I went and did the EKG and the stress test and everything like that, my numbers were good, my levels were good. The examiner of the echocardiogram said that looked good. When I got back home, after all of this stuff, the next day I received a phone call saying that, my stuff looked well. Everything looked okay. There was no blockages or anything. And I was like, awesome. And then the next day I received a phone call, and that's how I know that everything went well with the EKG and with the stress test. And they did say that the valve was still prolapsing and there was some leakage, but they weren't going to worry with that. It's not something to be concerned with at this point. I'm like, well, I'm thinking leakage, by God, but whatever. So I'm in pretty good shape. When I went to the doctor's office, they did my blood work. I don't have, my blood looks fantastic. My sugars are good. Everything's good, except I'm really super tired. I'm winded. I'm exhausted, literally exhausted. And I was like, and I was not experiencing any of these things prior to that. And she was like, okay, well, I'll let the nurse know and she'll contact you. I haven't heard anything back from the cardiology people. But I'm just going to fly by the seat of my pants, being 50 years old, knowing my body. I'm just going to assume blessed be, thank you. I am just going to assume that what is going on is because of the shot, because I wasn't feeling this way before it. And up to about 3 weeks ago, I was working out 45 minutes to an hour and a half every day. And now I don't even have the energy to walk across the floor. I really try to move. I try to, become more active, but it's like, it's just taking so much out of me, I was talking to my best girlfriends yesterday. One's in New York and the other one is in Reidsville. And they were both, always very supportive. I've known both of these ladies like my whole life, just about. And they're like, of course, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. But it's just stressful. I'm sorry. It may be the device. And I got a little cracky there for a minute. I'm pretty new at this streaming thing. This is actually really the second stream I've ever done where I'm actually communicating with somebody. Usually it's like a video. I'm just on here talking to myself. But I am going to continue to take care of me. But anyway, my best friends asked me, they was like, well, would you have taken the shot? Would you have gotten the shot knowing that it would have this type of effect on you? And of course, I would have gotten the COVID shot. Now, I'm a type of person to where I don't even get the flu shot regular because I really don't get sick. Oh. Are you talking about the caption? Sometimes the captions are all wonky. It's because it's phonetic. I don't know how to fix that yet. I'm a wee tot. But yeah, they were like, well, would you have gotten the shot anyway? Knowing. Yeah. It spells phonically. So it spells what it thinks I'm saying. I guess. Well, I don't know. It's Samsung. I don't know. Is it like characters or is it actually letters? If it's characters, well, my phone is from Asia. Could be speaking Chinese. I don't know. I have it set to caption, but I don't know. Like I said, this is my second one, so I don't know. Don't know. Sorry. But yeah, I would have gotten the shot anyway because my husband's a diabetic. and I want to keep him safe. Strange thing now, though, is I received a second phone call yesterday, again from the CDC. And I am not, at this point in time, since I'm wearing a heart monitor and it needs to, they need to, it has to be returned on the 1st, then they'll read it and they'll check, because you're supposed to like click it when you're having an episode. And you click it, and then you have an app on your phone, and you can go in and you can say, yeah, I'm having a symptom, and blah, 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 blah. And so then they'll go back and they'll match the two up when they decode the heart rhythm thing. But until that's done, I am not a candidate for a booster shot of any type. So, come to find out, I am now a little bit more at risk of getting the big COVID than my actual husband. Because, I thought he would be the one. But isn't that always the way to go? I mean, isn't that always the way? You assume that it's going to affect someone else. I'm trying to do the best I can to protect him. And now, come to find out, I'm the one that's more at risk than he is. When all of these issues and things started, I weighed 169 pounds. This morning, I weighed myself. I weigh 160. So, yay me. But you would think I'd be happy because I'm thinning down. But then again, I've got no energy. And I've got incredible indigestion. So it's like I'm constantly burping. I had one of those Airwick things and I had it plugged in and I took that out. So that actually alleviated some of the burping. But I still am completely full of air. I don't know if that has anything to do with that, but that was one of the questions when the CDC called me again the second time. Well, do you think that this has anything to do with that? I said, honestly, I don't know if one thing has anything to do with the other thing, but I can tell you factually, I wasn't having these experiences until after I had gotten the shot. And so now I'm sitting here waiting to see what they say. We live as we live, and we'll die when we'll die, and that'll be it for this world. My body will be left to science because I'm an organ donor. That was one of the whole reasons that I said, yeah, I'll go ahead and participate in this little survey questionnaire thing because being an organ donor, when I transcend, I'm no longer in my body, obviously, so I'm going to become a cadaver. And then whenever the medical research, whatever is done with whatever is left of me, there's like, you give them a list. So it's like my husband and then my children. And so it's like you give them a list because it could be several years before they're done using the cadaver. And then when they're done, they'll take whatever they have left and they cremate it, and then they will send it to whoever's on the list. And you have several names on there, so that way, say it's sent to John, and then say John passes away, then they'll go to the next person on the list. So, yeah, I am now a statistic and a research a research participant, I guess. So that's what's been going on in my life the last couple days. I felt really good Monday, made bread and candy and all of that. Yesterday, I just didn't have any strength to do anything. Like I said, I tried to get up and exercise and move and even play with Sergeant Pepper. And talking is just so windy, And they did everything on my tests and everything like that when I went to the doctor before I seen the cardiologist. So I don't feel like, it could be any type of cancer related thing causing me to be tired, that, because that would show up in your blood. If your blood is overworking to fight something, that would show up. So there was nothing like that there. I think that I am just going through side effects from the J&J. And until I can speak to my chiropractor or my cardiologist, or I have to take this monitor off on the first, send it back with all the information, and then I believe I see him on December 15th for the follow-up visit, unless of course they find something on the tape, on the little thing. And I just have to sit and wait. Okay. Bye bye. You have a great day. Thanks for coming. Be well. Be happy. Be healthy. Blessed be. Oh. I'll see you later. Bye.